The group formed in 1976 as the vocal trio of Joseph Hill, formerly a percussionist in Studio One house band The Soul Defenders, his cousin Albert Walker, and Roy Days. Initially using the name The African Disciples, Roy Days also used the name Kenneth Paley, which is the name that appears on the Culture records. Released by Virgin Records, the African Disciples soon changed their name to Culture, and auditioned successfully for the Mighty Two, producer Joe Gibbs and engineer Errol Thompson. While at Gibbs' studio, they recorded a series of singles, starting with See to Macomb and including To Seven's Clash, which predicted the apocalypse. On the 7th of July 1977, many of which ended up on their debut album To Seven's Clash. The song was sufficiently influential that many in Kingston stayed indoors on the 7th of July, fearing that the prophecy would come true. A second Gibbs-produced album, Bald Head Bridge, followed in 1978, by which time the group had moved on to record for producer Sonia Pottinger. The group entered into a long-running dispute with Gibbs over royalties to the first album. To Seven's Clash, meanwhile, had become a big seller in the United Kingdom, popular with punk rock fans as well as reggae fans and boosted by the support of John Peel on his BBC Radio 1 show, and reached number 60 on the UK Albums Chart in April 1978. This prompted Virgin Records to sign the group to its frontline label, releasing Harder Than the Rest 1978 and International Herb 1979. Culture also released records on other labels in Jamaica, including a dub version of Harder Than the Rest, Culture in Dub 1978, High Note, and an album of different recordings of the same album, Africa Stand Alone, April 1978. An album recorded for Pottinger in 1979 with a working title of Black Rose remained unreleased until tracks emerged in 1993 on Trod On. Culture performed at the One Love Peace concert in 1978. In 1981, the three singers went their own ways. Joseph Hill carried on using the Culture name and recorded the Lion Rock album, which was reissued in the United States by Heartbeat Records. Hill and his new band recorded a session for longtime supporter John Peel in December 1982. And the group went on to record further studio sessions for Peel in 1998 and 2002. And their performance at the Royal Festival Hall in July 1998 was broadcast on his show. For their part, Walker and Days recorded a handful of songs on their own, a few of which turned up on an album titled Roots and Culture. Hill performed at the Reggae Sunsplash Festival in 1985. And in 1986, the original lineup performed to record to highly regarded albums, Culture in Culture and Culture at Work. Several albums followed in the 1990s on Shanachi Records and Ras Records, often recorded with Sly and Robbie, with Days leaving the group again around 1994, with Reginald Taylor replacing him. Days subsequently worked as a solo artist under the name Kenneth Culture. By 2001, Telford Nelson had replaced Taylor. Joseph Hill, who came to symbolize the face of Culture, died in Berlin, Germany on the 19th of August 2006 while the group was on tour, after collapsing following a performance. His son, Kenyatta Hill, who had acted as the group's sound engineer on tour, performed with his father's band at the Western Consciousness show in 2007, which was dedicated to Joseph Hill, and became the lead singer of Culture. Walker and Nelson continued to provide backing vocals. In 2011, Live On was released, featuring Kenyatta's performances of his father's songs, including To Seven's Clash and International Herb. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit notification bell to be updated on the next video.